Fundamentals of Meditation by Lucian, Heads of State 2 and 4. 11. The actor prepared to give the proclamation. He did this by sitting on the throne. First, he unraveled his robe. Second, he undid the cord. Third, he sat up straight on the throne. In this way, the actor prepared to give the proclamation by sitting on the throne. 12. I prepared to write the learning letters for the baby. I did this by cuddling the pillow. First, I selected the pillow. Second, I put my arms around it. Third, I gently squeezed it. In this way, I prepared to write the learning letters for the baby by cuddling the pillow. 13. I prepared for our pet dog to ask for food. I did this by watching her notice she was at home. First, she looked at the furniture. Second, she noticed it was in the same shape. Third, she realized she was at home. In this way, I prepared for our pet dog to ask for food by watching her notice she was at home. 14. I prepared to have a hunt for interesting ideas about my friends. I did this by loving my friends by meeting one per week. First, I read the next friend's name on the list and rang him or her. Second, I prepared to read the next name in the next week. Third, I repeated this until the list was complete, then I returned to the start of the list. In this way, I prepared to have a hunt for interesting ideas about my friends by loving my friends by meeting one per week. 15. I prepared to neaten the blanket in the blanket cover. I did this by putting my finger into a hole. First, I chose a large enough hole to put my finger into. Second, I straightened my finger and pointed it to the hole. Third, I placed my finger in the hole. In this way, I prepared to neaten the blanket in the blanket cover by putting my finger into a hole. 16. I prepared to interface with the latest research. I did this by connecting arguments on the internet with similar arguments. First, I selected the first argument, in other words, phrase. Second, I selected the second argument. Third, I found a right, in, on or out of relationship between the arguments. In this way, I prepared to interface with the latest research by connecting arguments on the internet with similar arguments. 17. I prepared to have a bonanza by having an alien's brainwashed by showing him a blank screen for 5 minutes. I did this by ticking the box that an alien had been found. First, I selected a country. Second, I read the name of the alien. Third, I tested that the name of the alien was not on the list of inhabitants from the country. In this way, I prepared to have a bonanza by having an alien's brain washed by showing him a blank screen for 5 minutes by ticking the box that an alien had been found. 18. I prepared to wear the vestments. I did this by licking 2 lollies at once. First, I licked the first lolly. Second, I prepared to lick the second lolly. Third, I repeated this until I had licked each lolly. In this way, I prepared to wear the vestments by licking 2 lollies at once. 19. I prepared to teach the student meditation. I did this by asking for 80 Lucian mantras and 80 green sutras to each be repeated for 10 days. First, I repeated 80 Lucian mantras. Second, I repeated 80 green sutras. Third, I repeated these using 10 buttons. In this way, I prepared to teach the student meditation by asking for 80 Lucian mantras and 80 green sutras to each be repeated for 10 days. 20. I prepared to serve the next 2 customers by smiling at the second one after smiling at the first one. I did this by licking around the apple. First, I touched the apple with the tip of my tongue. Second, I moved my tongue around the apple. Third, I stopped moving my tongue when I had reached the opposite point of the apple. In this way, I prepared to serve the next 2 customers by smiling at the second one after smiling at the first one by licking around the apple.